Ang title po ng ating series ay ng preaching for today is yung You're Not Alone in the Struggle. So meron po tayong mga handouts sa may table. Kung wala pa po, pwede po kayong kumuha. Ayun po. So, mag-start po tayo sa last instruction ni Jesus before ascending to heaven. Di ba kung naalala natin, kung sa mga mahilig sa drama o sa mga palabas, di ba usually yung huling sasabihin ng isang dying na king, dying na CEO, or someone na mag-farewell for a very long time. Isa ito sa pinaka-climax or inaabangan na habilin. So ito yung pinaka-last instruction ni Jesus sa kanyang apostles. Wait lang po Pasensya po sa online. Nadidistract ako sa mga anak ko. Sa sarili kong anak. Ayun pa. Pumunta na sila sa... Yung story natin for today, yun din yung lesson nila sa Sunday School. So, basahin muna natin yung Matthew 28 verses 19 to 20. Nasa screen ata to. Ayan. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Yung focus natin for today, yung nasa last sentence, yung phrase na, I am with you always to the very end of the age. So this is Jesus speaking to his disciples. I am with you always. As we study or para mas maintindihan natin kung ano yung implication ng statement na to, punta tayo sa Mark 4:35 to 41. So kung meron kayong Bibles, nasa handout din ata. Hindi ko sure. Pero nasa screen din. Tayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating basahin. Mark 4 verses 35 to 41. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Sige po, let's sit down, let's settle down. Ito pong account sa entitled Jesus Calms a Storm. Meron din pong similar na parallel na nasulat din to sa book ni Luke and ni Matthew. Bago nito, di ba, nag-start itong scene ng evening. Pero before nito, Jesus was teaching on the shores of Galilee to a lot of people. Kasi ito na yung time na nakikilala na si Jesus na nagpa-perform ng miracles, nag-heal ng sick, tapos nag-teach authoritatively. So ito na yung time na ang daming tao na laging sumusunod, nakabuntot sa kanya just to listen and to experience and to witness yung kanyang miracles. And by dusk, ito na pagkadating ng gabi, syempre napagod na rin siya. So si Jesus, nagsabi na rin siya siya na yung nagsabi sa disciples niya na, "Tara, let's go across the lake." So they got on the boat. Gusto ko yung pagkakasabi ni Mark doon na he and his apostles got on a boat and left the crowd just as he was. So, na-witness nila kung gaano siguro ka-drained na, kakapagod na si Jesus at the time. So, ayun nga, nakatulog nga si Jesus aboard a boat and the storm came. So, the Sea of Galilee. Dominic next slide please. So, pakita ko lang yung topography ng Galilee. So, yung Galilee, ito yung water, yung lake. Ang alam ko up to now, siya pa rin yung lowest lake on earth. So, mababa siya. Tapos, kung mapapansin nyo, surrounded siya by hills and mountains all over. Kung naalala natin sa science, ako nakikinig tayo kay Ernie Baron. Hindi nyo nakilala si Ernie Baron. Si Kuya Kim. Ang storm na bubuo when the cold air meets the warm air. So, syempre, dahil hill, yung sa ibabaw ng hill, cold yung air doon. Tapos yung nasa above, just above the waters, warm air yun. So, kaya madalas, common ang windstorm sa Sea of Galilee. Kaya, ganun din sa ating buhay na kapag nag-obey tayo kay Christ, hindi naman niya inassure na magiging storm-free ang life. Actually, yun, sabi rin ni Jesus, diba, you will have tribulations in this world. So when we obey Christ, hindi laging smooth sailing. And sometimes, God takes us into storms not to discipline us, but to disciple us. Minsan kasi inisip natin na, shucks, may ginawa ata akong kasalanan, kaya nangyari to. May mali ata akong nagawa, o naisip, o may mali akong nasabi, kaya nangyayari sa amin to ngayon. Yung karma ba? But, sometimes, yun nga, it is to disciple us or to teach us something. So, in verse 38, we see Jesus in the stern. Ang stern ay yung back portion ng boat. Natutulog. O, diba? Kakatuwa. Si Jesus natutulog. Samantalang yung mga kasama niya siguro nagpapanik na. Lately, common story sa bahay ngayon ang Jonah and the whale. So familiar, yun ang favorite ni Gael lately. Every day, babasahin namin or papanoorin yung YouTube version ng Jonah and the whale. So naririnig niya, alam niya yung storm. Para ma-experience niya yung ibig sabihin ng storm, lagi ko siyang tinutulak, ginaganon, niro back and forth. Ganito ang storm. Tapos dumating si Pepito. So na-witness talaga, na-experience sila ang storm kasi yung bahay namin gawa sa kahoy. So, di ba Tita Inday? As in, actually yung room ko, kapag dati signal number 3 or 2, mararamdaman, matutulak talaga. Sa room ko pa lang yun eto, di ba si Pepito sobrang lakas. So naramdaman talaga nila yung hampas ng hangin sa kahoy namin na quarters. Tapos natanggalan pa kami ng bubong. Yung isang yero natanggal. Tapos nakwento ni Tita Inday na umiiyak na raw yung mga bata, ganyan. Kaya na-force silang lumikas papunta sa in-laws ko. Pero ayun, madalas, nagkakaroon din tayo ng storm sa ating mga buhay na minsan, kay Repa, minsan talaga mababagabag na tayo to the point na ma-breakdown na rin tayo. At yung pagkakasabi nung disciples, nung ginising niya, Teacher, do you not care if we are perishing? Kasi di ba si Jesus tulog na tulog? Tapos yung apostles nila sa sobrang takot, wala bang pakialam to sa atin? Tulog lang siya na tulog, lulubog na tayo. Tutulog pa rin siya. So similarly, we might say, Jesus, don't you care that my child is sick? That my marriage is falling apart? My marriage or my relationship is falling apart? That my friends have deserted me? That today or next week or next month, I have no money? That I feel so alone? Don't you care that I want to give up already? That my husband, my mother, my father just died? Don't you care that I lost my job? That I can't go to school? Don't you care na babagsak na ako? Don't you care na wala na akong pambili para sa pangangailangan namin? Of course, Jesus cares. And yung isang lesson natin today is, Jesus was always in the boat. So kahit sa story na to, natutulog siya, pero he was in the boat. He is never not in your boat. So kasama natin lagi siya. I am not alone in my struggle. You are not alone in the struggle. Aminin ko lang na actually hanggang ngayon pinaprocess ko tong, hindi ko siya ituturo kasi i-share ko to sa inyo kasi pati ako kailangan kong aralin to ngayon personally as I am struggling today. Di ko alam kung sino sa inyo ang may current na struggles, pero ang sarap ng truth na Jesus has never left my boat. Tapos nakakatuwa lang kasi a few hours before this scene, di ba nagtuturo si Jesus. Kasama sa mga tinuro niya yung parable of the sower. So kung familiar kayo sa parable of the sower, so merong sower or farmer, nagpa-plant siya ng seeds. Tapos as he was scattering the seeds, some seeds fell along a fertile soil, some fell along a rocky path, some fell along bushes na may thorns. Tapos yun nga, hindi lahat ng pinaglapagan o pinaghulugan ng seed ay may nag-bear fruit. Tapos afterwards, inexplain ni Jesus na, balikan natin kasi baka may magkulang ako. So inexplain, kasi di ba si Jesus lagi siya nag-speak in parables. Nung time na to, nung kasama na lang niya yung apostles, inexplain niya. Nagtanong din yung parables yung apostles, pero inexplain niya din sa kanila na the sower sows the word. So the word is the word of God. And these are the ones along the path where the word is sown. When they hear, Satan immediately comes and takes away the word that is sown in them. And these are the ones sown on rocky ground, the ones who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with joy, but they have no root in themselves, so they endure for a while. When tribulation or persecution arise on account of the word, immediately they fall away. And others are the ones sown among thorns. They are those who hear the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter in and choke the word and proves unfruitful. But those that were sown on the good soil are the ones who hear the word and accept it and bear fruit 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold. So, eto, narinig to na, inexplain to ni Jesus sa kanila, at ngayon, they are experiencing a storm at natatakot na agad sila. So, parang sa school lang, may theory, tas nga ito, nasa lab na sila, o OJT. Pero yun nabagabag agad sila sa storm. So, sa atin, storms will come. Alam natin to, lalo dito sa Pilipinas. May ready tayo magpangalan ng storm every year from A to Z. Ganun ka-common ang storm sa location ng ating bansa. So storms will come. You may be surprised when they come. Kasi seemingly, eto parang kila Jesus. Pagod na pagod siya Nag-attend sila sa sobrang daming followers, nagturo siya. Ito na sana yung time niya magpahinga. Pero the storm came. You may be surprised how they come. You may be even surprised where they come from. Pwedeng sa pinaka-least na ina-expect. Yung asawa ko, nabanggit niya na, ano ba yan? Tuwing may nangyayari na maganda sa amin, napapalitan ng sobrang lalang event. Minsan may ganun tayong notion na, parang kapalit. Kumbaga. Pero, in-explain ko sa kanya na yung nangyari sa family namin, ang providence din ni Lord, yung timing. Kasi kung nangyari siya earlier, wala kaming resources para harapin yung napakalaking challenge na hinaharap namin ngayon. Para providence na rin ni Lord yung timing nung storm na ito. Pero sa kabilang banda, kasi least expect parang eto na sana yung time namin na ma-enjoy yung fruits ng labor ni Sunny abroad, ganyan. Pero hindi pa. Meron pa kaming storm na pinagdadaanan. And yes, storms are a part of life. There is nothing we can do to prevent them. But the good news is, Jesus is always in your boat, and you are not alone in your struggle. So sa verse 39 na banggit doon na Jesus got up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. So yung disciples, nakita nila yung kabuuan ni Jesus. Una, nakita nila kung gaano siya kapagod, yung humanity niya. Natutulog siya in the middle of a storm. Tapos in an instant, na-witness sila kung gaano siya ka-powerful, yung divinity niya. Kung gaano siya ka-sovereign, na siya yung king over the flood, over the storm, and over this universe. Just by saying once, nag-die down ang storm. Sana pwede yun sa storm sa bahay, no, Tita Inday? Minsang salita lang ng Lucas, Gael, mag-die down na sila, yung storm nila. Pero hindi pa. Hindi pa ganun eh. O kaya minsan we witness sa storms na yung winds titigil or yung rains titigil. Pero ang waves magpe-persist pa rin. Pero dito sa time na to, the wind ceased and there was a great calm. Tapos bigla siyang humarap sa disciples niya ng, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Kayo, o ako, what are you afraid of? Why are you so afraid? Actually, tanong ko siya sa sarili ko lately na ako lumaki sa church, tapos kayang mag-share ng ganito, pero maraming times na shaken pa rin ako sa takot. O magaling lang ako mag-act na mag-pretend na hindi ako natatakot. Pero may mga moments na deep inside, sobrang natatakot, sobrang nararattle na ako. Steffi, why are you so afraid? Then after witnessing this, the apostles were so afraid, they were terrified, and they asked each other, "Sino to? Kahit ang wind, kahit ang waves, nakikinig sa kanya." Di ko ma-imagine kung nasan ako, kung ano yung reaction ko sa time na to. Pero baka ganun din. Naka-experience sila ng storm, pero after ng storm, mas natakot pa sila sa nagpakalma sa storm. Sino to? Sino tong taong to? And do you realize na ito yung Jesus na nagpakalma ng ganitong kalakas na storm, ay yung Jesus na kasama mo sa buhay mo, kasama mo on your boat. Do you realize the person, the God who is in your boat? Naalala ko lang na, di ba si John sa kanyang account ng gospel, na before ng crucifixion, nagbibigay din ng mga teachings, prayers si Jesus sa disciples niya. Tapos kasama dun yung napaka-famous na verse sa John 16:33 na, "You will have tribulations in this world, but take heart because I have overcome the world." Sabi yun ni Jesus sa apostles niya. So realizing na, knowing, understanding na si Jesus ay kayang-kayang magpakalma ng storm, mas madali din nating ma-apply o magagawa sa sarili natin yung take heart or take courage or kapit lang, laban lang. I have overcome the world, sabi ni Jesus. Sinasabi ni Jesus na He is with us always. Diba? Balikan natin yung Dominic pa, next slide please. Ay sige pa. Ay wait lang. Bago tayo may ipapakita pa lang painting sa inyo. Yan, yung painting. Ito ay painting ni Rembrandt. Na paint ito ng 1963. Ito yung portrayal niya ng Jesus on a storm. So ito ay isang boat in the midst of the storm, and we see different groups of people. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung si Jesus yung nandun, so nasa stern nga, no? So nasa may likod. And may nakasurround sa kanya na mga disciples na nakatingin lang sa kanya, nakafocus sa kanya. And amidst the storm, sila, kalmado yung mga mukha nila. Another group of apostles, nasa may taas banda, sila yung nakahawak sa sail, hindi ko kabisa, sa mast, pero nakikipaglaban sa storm. Siguro may possibility, actually nabasa ko na, si Peter ito, being fisherman, familiar sila sa gawain ng mga sailors during a storm. Nung pinainto ni Rembrandt, sige, matanong lang, ilang tao kaya yung nasa painting na yan? Sige, guess. Ha? 12? 13? Ano pa? Any more guesses? 7? Theoretically, una natin maisip kasi 13. Kasi 12 disciples plus Jesus, so 13. Pero nung pinainto ni Rembrandt, 14 na tao. Kasi nakalimutan ko yung technique na yun, o yung term. Pero hindi naman angel, pero meron yung practice noon, na maganda ring practice as we study the scriptures, na pinaint ni Rembrandt yung sarili niya doon. Yung question na, kung ako yung nasa scene na to, ano kaya yung response ko, ano kaya yung ginagawa ko, ano kaya yung sinasabi ko, ano kaya yung nasaan ako. So, hindi ko sure kung nasaan siya dyan, pero kayo, sa tingin nyo, nasaan kayo? kung kayo yung 14th person diyan. Inaayos yung sail. Nakaupo. Ginigising si Jesus. Katabi si Jesus natutulog. So magandang reflection lang, no? Kasi minsan sa storm ng buhay, anong ginagawa natin? Nasaan tayo when we face the storms of life? Maaring we are down on our knees praying fervently. Maaring hinaharap natin yung bagyo with all our might, with all our resources, with all our strength. O maaring nakatulala na lang. Minsan may ganun out of shock, na paralyzed, wala nang magawa. It happens, nangyayari yun. Pero again, ang pinaka-central na truth natin today is Jesus is with us. He is with you. He is on your boat. He is with you always. And, wait lang, Dominic. Previous slide, please. Ayan. Kanina binasa natin yung Matthew 28 verses 19 to 20. Pero idagdag natin yung verse 18. Yung, kumbaga, yung naunang sinabi ni Jesus. Wait lang, Dominic, tama na yung kaninang slide. Ayan, yung naka-bold, yun yung verse 18. Jesus came to them, yung disciples, and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." So ito yung Jesus na kasama natin always. Kasama natin ngayon, kasama natin mamaya, kasama natin next year, kaharap ng panibagong signal number 5. Kasama natin in the future. Si Jesus na nagsasabi na all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. And He is saying na I am with you always to the very end of the age. Bago tayo mag-end, gusto ko ring ma-highlight itong middle part ng, di ba ito yung widely kilalang verse as the Great Commission. Ito yung time na sinasabi ni Jesus na go and make disciples. Go and spread the good news of all nations. Baptize them, teaching them how to obey everything I have commanded you. So, minsan, as we are, kasama na tayo dito kasama na tayo sa naka-receive ng ganitong instructions. Nandito na tayo sa going and making disciples of all nations. Minsan, nahihinder tayo to do this fully or to obey this Great Commission fully out of fear or out of yung storms na dumadaan sa buhay natin. Kasi sabi nga natin kanina, storms will come. Storms do come. Pero ito yung very powerful assurance si Lord na as you obey me, any storm na daraan sa inyo, hindi kayo matitinag. because whose authority in heaven, I who has all the authority in heaven and earth, is with you always to the very end of the age. So naway, as we continue to choose to obey Jesus every day of our lives, as we choose to obey Jesus today, as we teach our children, as we teach our classmates, as we teach our churchmates how to obey Jesus. And in that midst, habang may storm sa ating buhay, hindi natin kailangang matinag. Kasi the one who calmed the seas will calm our hearts and is with you to the end of the age. Amen.